Different animals have different kinds of strength. Some have pure brute strength and are capable of lifting, dragging, carrying or pulling enormous weights. Others may be much smaller yet have immense power compared to their size. Here are 18 of the world's strongest animals. Prepare to be amazed. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Number 18. An electric eel is capable of landing an electric jolt of up to 600 volts and more. Well, not enough to beat the Asgardian god, but perhaps enough to take you down. Number 17. Aldabra giant tortoise. As their name suggests, Aldabra giant tortoises come from the Aldabra atoll in the Seychelles. They used to be heavily hunted for their meat, so they are still considered vulnerable to extinction. Giant tortoises are possibly the longest living of all vertebrates. They regularly live for over 150 years and some have been estimated to live for well over 200 years. Zookeepers in India believe their tortoise, who died in 2006, was actually 255 years old. Number 16. Hairy frog. Ashobatrachus robustus, otherwise known as a hairy frog, deserves to share space with other superhero animals. His superpower is equal parts disturbing and awesome. When threatened, the frog can puncture claws out of his toe pads, just like Wolverine. Instead of cat or dog claws made of keratin, the hairy frog's claws are bone. Scientists can't figure out how the bone retracts, and they posit that the amphibian is regenerating tissue to help the wound heal. Number 15. Pit viper. Vipers are a large family of snakes. The scientific name is Viperidae. They are found all over the world with the exceptions of Antarctica, Australia, New Zealand, Madagascar, north of the Arctic Circle and island clusters such as Hawaii. The pit viper is a subfamily of venomous vipers found in Eurasia and the Americas, located between the eye and the nostril. These snakes have a pit organ which contains a membrane that can detect infrared radiation from warm bodies. At night, it allows the snakes to see an image of their predator or prey, as an infrared camera does, giving them a true animal superpower. Number 14. Mantis shrimp. This beautifully deadly creature is called a mantis shrimp, and despite its small size, it will take on any opponent that threatens its livelihood. From octopuses to giant crabs, and even humans. First up are the smashers. They deliver powerful punches that knock their opponents unconscious. They can launch their fists, called dactyl clubs, at speeds of 80 km/h. That's faster than a .22 caliber bullet. These punches deliver 730 kilograms, 160 pounds, of force, enough to jailbreak them out of glass enclosures or split human fingers down to the bone. Spearers can't strike as quickly as their smashing counterparts, but they can still impale their prey in a mere 20 to 30 milliseconds. The power and speed of the smashing and spearing are made possible by the spring and latch system of the shrimp's limbs. One muscle compresses the spring and builds up energy, while a second muscle holds the latch in place. When the time is right, a third muscle releases the latch, and all that energy is launched forwards at once. None of these hunting feats would be possible without their complex visual system. They have the broadest visual spectrum in the animal kingdom, being able to detect colors we can't even see, like ultraviolet light. We humans only have 3 color receptors, whereas mantis shrimp have about 16. That's a lot of information to process, and it requires a system entirely different from our own. When we take in visual information, all of the processing is done in our brain, but for the mantis shrimp, it's completed within the eye itself. Number 13. Jellyfish. Let's get it clear, not all jellyfish are immortal. And even this immortality is biological. They are not invulnerable. The Turritopsis dohrnii species of the jellyfish can revert back to the childhood stage of their life as soon as they get old, and they can do this forever. The only thing that can kill them is all of the normal things: disease, predators, climate. But until all that is hunky-dory, they are immortal. If humans could do this, you could revert back to your child state, and live through the dastardly period of puberty and adulthood again. Number 12. Sea cucumber. Sea cucumbers can turn their whole bodies into almost liquid on demand. They use this technique to escape predators through the narrow cracks in the seabed. They are also known to drop their vital organs as distraction mechanism. That way they can escape and regenerate the organs. If humans could do it, you could get through tiny holes and cracks in walls, just like the villain Terminator. If you were chased by a murderer, You could just remove your heart and chuck it at him, then grow one back in a few days. Number 11. Lyrebird. These beautiful birds grow to about a meter long. Like peacocks, only the males have the beautiful tails that give them their name. These tails are used in courtship displays and take about 7 years to grow fully. They mainly eat small insects and other invertebrates that they find as they forage around on the forest floor. They have been recorded copying other bird and animal calls perfectly, plus a range of other sounds including chainsaws, camera shutters, tractors and car alarms. Like most other birds, it does this in order to attract a mate. Its own song is a composition with elements borrowed from the songs of other birds. Number 10. Here is a gravity-defying animal that laughs in the face of danger. That is because the Alpine Ibex mountain goat can climb places that no other animal would even dare breach. These include dams, cliffs and mountain sides that are almost vertical. All goats have a reputation for being excellent climbers, but the ibex is probably the top of its class because it has short legs and a low slung body mass. Ibex has a very low center of gravity. It also has extremely powerful muscles, especially in its rear legs. However, its most prized assets are definitely the hooves. They are designed with a thin, solid external rim and a soft central area which makes them ideal for climbing. And number 9. Dung Beetle. It might not have the most flattering name in the world, but super strength is the definitive superpower and the dung beetle has it. The insect gets a bad rap due to its choice of food, which is obvious from its name, but the dung beetle possesses so many other interesting qualities more important than its task. Among them is the dung beetle's ability to carry things many times larger, heavier than itself. This is a trait shared by all dung beetle species, but Octopus tortoise is the undisputed champion. Can pull up to 1,141 times its own body weight. Imagine a human being able to pull a double-decker bus filled with people, and then combine it with another 5 buses. That is the strength of this little guy who is, pound for pound, the most powerful creature in the animal kingdom. Number 8. Clearly, the green arrow has made quite a reputation, aiming with quite an impeccably sharp eye. To be compared to the vigilante, who brings a bow and arrow to a gunfight to win. The archer fish has to be as good. The fish shoots a water jet right out of their mouths with incredible accuracy to bring down the nearby insects for them to eat. Number 7. Tardigrade is a microscopic organism have shown the tendency of being the survivor of any circumstance. It can survive extreme heat, extreme cold, underwater and outer space. It can even survive a nuclear strike. A fight between it and Dr. Manhattan would be quite an interesting one to watch. Who would win? Number 6. Salamander. Often, one is their ability to crawl on the wall, while other is their regeneration ability for their tails. But this isn't the list of common abilities. Salamanders can regenerate their limbs, just like their more monstery fictional swamp neighbor. Here comes a shocker, pun intended. Number 5. Naked Molerat. Just like our favorite fourth wall breaker Deadpool is practically immune to many major illnesses and conditions. Except the ugly face syndrome, so is this tiny unattractive rodent. Naked molerats don't contract cancer. If scientists could harness something from them, how incredible would it be? Number 4. Mimic octopus. If you think the previous contender was good enough, be prepared to be amazed. Just like Mystique, standing true to its name, this octopus can shapeshift itself into various other aquatic animals, from a stingray to jellyfish, to starfish, to even a frickin' snake, and that to quite an extent. It can also perfectly blend in the ocean floor, to keep safe from predators, and be hidden from its preys. Looks like the blue mutant has an underwater rival at this shapeshifter. Number 3. Cuttlefish. The cuttlefish is quite good at staying hidden, but this camouflage is a step up from that of a chameleon, as essentially, the cuttlefish becomes invisible to the human eye, pretty much like the invisible girl from Fantastic Four. Number 2. Platypus. Platypus is one of the most extraordinary creatures in itself. It seems to be a collection of various animal features, including a beak, flat tail, and despite being a mammal, it lays eggs. If that wasn't enough, it can construct a 3D electrical picture of its environment with an electro detection sense in it. Looks like our beloved blind lawyer Vigilante has quite a competition when it comes to the sixth sense. Number 1. This tiny winged speedsters can travel 27.3 meters per second, which is more than 350 times than their body length in 1 second. Wonder if they also have their own speed force. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.